Welcome back to my channel at dito nga po ay tatalakayin ko ang solving quadratic equations by completing the square. Bago po tayo magpatuloy, pwede po bang isubscribe nyo na ang aking channel at i-hit na rin po ang notification bell para updated po kayo sa mga sunod-sunod na videos na i-upload ko dito. Tuloy na nga tayo sa pagtalakay ng ating topic. Another method of solving quadratic equation is by completing the square. This method of solving involves transforming the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 into the form of quantity x minus 8 squared equals k, where k is greater than 0. The following are the steps in solving quadratic equations by completing the square. Step 1. Divide both sides of the equation by a, then simplify. Step 2. Transpose the constant to the right. Step 3. Add the square of the half of b, or quantity b over 2 squared, on both sides. The left side of the equation will become perfect square trinomial. Step 4. Express the left side as a square of binomial. Step 5. Solve by extracting square root. Step 6. Check the solutions to original equation. And Step 7. State your final answer. Problem number 1. Solve by completing the square. 2x squared plus 8x minus 10 equals 0. First to do is to remove the coefficient 2 on the first term. So we will divide both sides by 2. 2x squared divided by 2 is x squared. 8x divided by 2 is plus 4x. Negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. 0 over 2 equals 0. Next, we will transpose the constant negative 5 to the right. From negative, it will become positive. Then, we will do the completing the square on the left side by looking or solving its constant. To find the constant or c, it is quantity b over 2 squared. B is the coefficient of the second term, which is 4. So, 4 over 2 is 2. 2 squared is equal to 4. 4 will be added to the left and also will be added to the right. Simplify the right side. 5 plus 4 equals 9. The left side expression x squared plus 4x plus 4 is now a perfect square trinomial whose factor is quantity x plus 2 squared. To remove squared, extract square root both sides. Square root of quantity x plus 2 squared equals x plus 2. Square root of 9 is plus and minus 3. Then, transpose positive 2 to negative 2 to the right. To determine the two values of x sub 1 equals 3 minus 2 and x sub 2 is negative 3 minus 2. Individually solve the equations. 3 minus 2 equals 1. Negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. To determine if 1 or negative 5 or both are solutions, solve the values to the original equation. By substituting 1, we have 1 squared equals 1, 4 times 1 equals 4, plus 4 equals 9. 1 plus 4 plus 4 equals 9. Since they are equal, 1 is a solution. Do the same to negative 5, substitute to the original equation, and as you see on the solution at the right side of the screen, 9 also is equal to 9. It means that negative 5 is also a solution. Therefore, the solution for the equation by completing the square is 1 and negative 5. Problem number 2, x squared plus 8x equals negative 15, solved by completing the square. Since the constant negative 15 is already on the right side, we will now do the completing the square on the left side. The value of b is 8, divided by 2 is 4, 4 squared equals 16. 16 will be added to both sides of the equation. Simplify the right side. Negative 15 plus 16 equals positive 1. The left side expression x squared minus 8x plus 16 is already a perfect square trinomial whose factor is quantity x minus 4 squared. Again, to remove the squared on the left side, extract the square root both sides. Square root of quantity x minus 4 squared equals x minus 4, square root of 1 equals positive and negative 1. Transpose negative 4 to positive 4 to the right. X equals positive and negative 1 plus 4. To get the two values of x sub 1 equals 1 plus 4, x sub 2 equals negative 1 plus 4. 1 plus 4 equals 5, negative 1 plus 4 equals 3. To determine if 5 and 3 are solutions or not, solve them to the original equation. And as you see the solutions on the screen, both of them hold true on the original equation. Therefore, we can now say that the solutions for the quadratic equation by completing the square is 5 and 3. Problem number 3, solve by completing the square. 4x squared minus 21x plus 5 equals 0. Again, first to do is remove the coefficient 4 on the first term by dividing both sides by 4. And it is equal to x squared minus 21 over 4x plus 5 fourths equals 0. Then transpose the constant 5 fourths to negative 5 fourths to the right. Next, do the completing the square on the left side by solving its constant. Again, the formula to solve for the constant is half of b squared. The value of b is 21 over 4 divided by 2. To divide fractions, copy the numerator which is 21 over 4. From division, proceed to multiplication. Get the reciprocal of 2 which is 1/2. To multiply fractions, multiply numerator to numerator and denominator to denominator. 21 times 1 is 21. 4 times 2 is 8. Then, square the result. 21 squared is 441. 8 squared is 64. To continue, add 441 over 64 to both sides of the equation. Since the right side are two different fractions, we will solve this using 64 as LCD. 64 divided by 4 is 16 times negative 5 equals negative 80. 64 divided by 64 equals 1 times 441 equals 441. Simplify the numerator. Negative 80 plus 441 equals 361 over 4. The left side expression x squared minus 21 over 4x plus 441 over 64 is a perfect square trinomial whose factor is x minus 21 over 8 squared. To solve for x, extract its square root both sides. Square root of quantity x minus 21 over 8 squared is x minus 21 over 8. Square root of 361 over 64 equals plus and minus 19 over 8. Transpose negative 21 over 8 to the right, we have 21 over 8 plus and minus 19 over 8. To determine the two values of x sub 1 equals 21 over 8 plus 19 over 8. 21 plus 19 equals 40 over 8. 40 divided by 8 equals 5. Its second value or x sub 2 equals 21 over 8 minus 19 over 8. 21 minus 19 equals 2 over 8. Simplest form equals 1/4. Therefore, the solutions for the equation by completing the square is 5 and 1/4. Kung nakatulong po at nagustuhan ninyo ang video, please like. At pakishare na rin po para tuloy-tuloy ang pagtulong natin sa iba.